Hey Ernest, so I wanted to talk to you about our upcoming trust seminar and estate planning.
Okay.
And I thought I would also share a story about why it's so important and kind of tell people why we're doing this seminar, why it's important to come to this seminar and hear from our attorney.
Okay.
So in real estate, I have a client, had a client recently who needed to sell a home. He had been taking care of his wife of 63 years. She had had an illness, and she had had in-home care service for over 10 years. So you know that is extremely expensive medical care. During that time, this particular client, he owns his primary residence and 3 rental units, but he had gotten behind on property taxes. He had gotten behind on some of his payments on his primary residence, which was a bit nerve-wracking and stressful.
Yeah.
He unfortunately, his wife did pass away right before he had reached out to me. And so when sitting with himself and his accountant and his family members, going over his situation, we were looking at his properties. He said he needed cash. He needed to liquidate because all of his savings had been used to take care of his wife. Right? So in this super stressful, sad time, we were hoping to help. And fortunately, one of the decisions that he and his wife made some 25 years ago, they put all of their properties into their family trust. So the properties were held in a trust. Many of these properties they had owned for 25, maybe longer, 30 years. In fact, the one we were selling, I know it was over about 35 years that they owned it. Okay. So they had about $1 million worth of equity in all of these properties.
Wow.
But it was untapped, right? So they couldn't really get to it quick enough. Like I said, he had been having to deal with medical bills and being behind on his payments. So one of the things we looked at was with his trust, why that was such a smart decision for he and his family is that when his wife passed away, all of those properties received what we call a step up in value in tax basis. So those properties that they had bought 20 years ago, 35 years ago for very low amounts now were brought up to, as a tax basis, up to the actual market value of those properties. Wow. So he was able to sell that one property and cash out with paying 0 capital gains, little to no tax on that. And then he was able to take that money and pay off his primary residence mortgage. He paid off medical debt that was still there.
Yeah.
And then he was able to take that cash and put it into a savings account. So now that he has that money to help him live the life that he and his wife had designed.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So had he not had a trust, though all of those properties, if he sold one, he would have had to pay capital gains tax on that gain, that huge amount from when he bought it 35 years ago to today. And so it's really something I'm passionate about for my clients. I encourage them to get tax and legal advice. We're not accountants and we're not attorneys, but we see the value every day of having a trust.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd share that today just as an example of why you and I are hosting this event.
Yeah.
And we hope that people will come and take advantage of that free advice.
Yeah, no, it's huge. It's huge. It can it's amazing. You don't realize how valuable it is until you need it.
Right.
So it's good to learn about it ahead of time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So looking forward to February 19th. We have the trust seminar coming up with one of my favorite attorneys, Jordan. I can't even pronounce her last name. She'll tell you about it when you see her. And we look forward to having everybody come out.
Yeah, that'll be great.